scandalous cheating rumors, horrifying kitchen accidents, and the heartbreaking loss of friends and mentors. Alex Guarnaschelli may have a fun, outgoing personality on the Food Network, but her personal life has been anything but sunny. In the early days of Alex Guarnaschelli's culinary training, gender equality in the kitchen was pretty much non-existent. Guarnaschelli ventured to Burgundy, France in the early 90s to study and work under fine dining chefs. Executive chefs in these professional kitchens were notorious for inflicting physical and emotional abuse on underling staff members, and Guarnaschelli's poor treatment was centered around her existence as a young woman entering a man's world. In 2023, Guarnaschelli spoke at an event hosted by Barnard College's Francine A. Lafrac Foundation Center for Wellbeing and described the tense atmosphere she entered during a work-study at Michelin-starred restaurant Guy Savoy. Guarnaschelli recalled the chef's first words to her there, saying he told her, "I can't figure out what's worse, that you're a woman or that you're American." Guarnaschelli stayed on as an unpaid apprentice for months. 4 years later, she was promoted to sous chef in one of Savoy's other restaurants, but as a woman in this role, she was undermined by the kitchen staff. She told Home and Garden in 2007, "To get 10 French whippersnappers to listen to an American female authority figure, I don't recommend it. Unless you have Wellbutrin, I don't recommend it." In 2006, Guarnaschelli was teaching a fish cooking class at New York's Institute of Culinary Education. Among the attendees was Brandon Clark, a lawyer on the hunt for a career change. Clark convinced Guarnaschelli to take him on as a part-time worker at Hotspot Restaurant Butter, where she had been the executive chef since 2003. In the confines of their work setting, a mutual attraction grew. Clark ultimately decided against a path in the culinary arts, but was still keen on Guarnaschelli. Within a year, they were married and expecting a child. But over the years, troubles in the marriage were undeniable. When the couple divorced in 2015, Guarnaschelli was a well-established fixture on Food Network. Speculation from the media hinted at infidelity on Clark's part, but Guarnaschelli has never publicly commented on the matter. When they parted ways, Guarnaschelli assumed full custody of their daughter Ava. While appearing a number of times on Guy's Grocery Games, Guarnaschelli found a true friend in Carl Ruiz, a fun-loving, charismatic restaurateur. Ruiz got his Food Network break in 2013 when Guy Fieri featured his New Jersey restaurant, Marie's Italian Specialties, on diners, drive-ins, and dives.
This is like culinary Disneyland, and this is Goofy. Hello!
He became a regular on Guy's Grocery Games and Guy's Ranch Kitchen. Ruiz opened another restaurant in 2019, but by September of that year, he was dead. The shock of his death at the age of 44 left friends and family shaken, Guarnaschelli included. Hearing of his death, Guarnaschelli made a heart-wrenching tribute on social media, saying, "This man was somehow fatherly, comforting, wise, reckless, brilliant, wickedly funny, and unique, all rolled into one. My life will be lonelier without him. Love you, Carl." Ruiz's cause of death was later revealed as cardiovascular disease caused by blocked arteries. Guarnaschelli didn't dream of becoming a chef from childhood, but it was certainly in her blood. Her mother, Maria, was a prolific cookbook editor in New York City and introduced her daughter to classic Italian-American comfort foods. Maria's passion for the culinary world, hard work, and powerful feminine energy were all traits that Guarnaschelli inherited in spades.
But also it was training for all my Food Network work, I feel like.
When Maria passed away in 2021 at the age of 79 from complications of heart disease, Guarnaschelli lost the greatest mentor of her life. After her mother's death, Guarnaschelli took to social media to honor her legacy, writing, "She was the only person who called me Al. I don't believe in aliens, but I do believe in the afterlife. She is so with my dad right now. I will miss her soufflés, her endless curiosity, and the smell of her perfume in the room. Love you, Mom." Guarnaschelli is a very hands-on mom, but her desire to be present for her daughter was overwhelming at first and came at the expense of Guarnaschelli's emotional well-being. Up to that point, Guarnaschelli had cut her culinary teeth in world-class Parisian kitchens and was testing the waters of cooking TV by way of Food Network. Yet the self-possessed adrenaline junkie was out of her depth as she adjusted to her new role as a mother. In the day after Ava's birth, Guarnaschelli obsessed over listening to the baby monitor until deciding to keep vigilance on the floor by the crib in case her daughter stopped breathing in the middle of the night. Sleep-deprived and fearful, Guarnaschelli worried that in order to keep Ava safe, she would be on the verge of unraveling for the foreseeable future. Desperate for help, she called her father. Years later, Guarnaschelli told E! News, "I can almost start crying remembering how this feels. I said, she's going to be fine, but I'm not. He's like, just go to your room and go to bed." And it was sort of like that nudge I needed in the right direction. Wedding bells were once again in Guarnaschelli's future in 2020 when she got engaged to fellow chef Michael Castellan. The pair met when Guarnaschelli dined at a restaurant where she knew the server. Impressed by the steak she was eating, the server suggested Guarnaschelli meet the chef, Castellan. When Guarnaschelli entered the kitchen to commend Castellan on the meal, sparks flew. The couple dated for years before Castellan popped the question. Guarnaschelli told the press she was excited to plan a big wedding, but by February 2022, the engagement was off. Neither has spoken in depth about the breakup, but Castellan provided a brief statement to Closer, saying only, wishing her nothing but the best. Guarnaschelli wasn't as cavalier. In an Instagram Q&A, she admitted to coping poorly, saying that pizza was helping her through. She also offered some advice, writing, "Part of life is being alone, and part of life is being lost. Some people say that life is what happens in those in-between moments anyway. Give it some thought and always bet on yourself."
I've decided that my life is about the pursuit of flavors.
Guarnaschelli's well-established reputation at the Food Network hit a snag in 2024 when she was reportedly ousted from her post at the kitchen. Sure, she had other Food Network shows to fall back on, but her departure from the kitchen seemed to be on less than mutual terms. After Food Network removed Guarnaschelli from the show's online cast list, she alluded that she had been fired. In the wake of the kitchen drama, Guarnaschelli played it cool, posting a selfie to Instagram with the caption, "It's Monday, people. Don't let the small stuff get to you. Have a donut and coffee in your car. Hang in there." Months later, however, she signed a multi-year contract with the network for multiple projects. Still, this wasn't the first time that Guarnaschelli had drama with Food Network. A tiff with another of the channel's powerhouse chefs played out on X after Anne Burrell called out a contestant on Worst Cooks in America for heating up a pan with nothing in it and referenced Guarnaschelli's tendency to do the same. Guarnaschelli tweeted, "Oh my god, I do that all the time. Am I fired?" Never one to back down, Burrell quipped back, "Well, I'd never hire you anyway." In 2022, the Food Network gave Guarnaschelli her very own cook-off show, Alex vs. America. But in season 2, Guarnaschelli's grit turned to gore when she sliced off the tip of her middle finger during a brunch battle.
Ow! And boop, I nicked my finger. I cut myself.
Unsurprisingly, the kitchen tool behind Guarnaschelli's injury was the mandolin. The manual slicer can turn vegetables into paper-thin, uniform slices, but it can also do the same to fingers. Guarnaschelli pressed the wound into a kitchen cloth, got patched up by the medics, and returned to the stove with a latex glove shielding her hand. The accident threw off the finesse of her dish and cost her some time on the clock, but she still composed herself enough to power through. Her finger, on the other hand, was never the same.